Good morning, everyone. Okay, our service is now starting. Our prelude is number 15, The Lone Wild Bird. And I want to note the words for all the songs today will be on the screen here. Thank you, Andy, and thank you to the choir and everybody. Good morning. My name is Grant Thompson, and I'm very happy to welcome you today to the Berkeley Fellowship of Unitarian Universalists. And I want to extend a special welcome to our friends on Zoom. If you'd like, you can turn around and just say hello and give them a smile. We are part of a free religious tradition that honors the loving heart, the open mind, and growing together within the beloved community. Please don't forget to silence your cell phones. If you have any announcements, please write them down and give them to Jeff over in the AV corner. If you would like to write in the book of joys and sorrows, it is to your left on the table. Our fellowship stands on land that is today called, apologies, yeah. I'm going to do the land acknowledgement. Our fellowship stands on land that is today called Berkeley, California, located in the stolen territory of the Ohlone people. We honor them today and always for their wisdom and resilience. Just one moment, yeah. A quick note, just don't forget, please don't record any part of this service. We do record it, and the services are posted on our website. We are very pleased to have Reverend Bonnie Dlott with us today. Since retiring after 11 years of ministry with the Napa congregation, Reverend Bonnie had the privilege of serving the UU congregation in Santa Rosa and Petaluma as a contract minister. Reverend Bonnie is a Bay Area native, and she spends her time communing with nature, cooking, traveling, and playing with her 2 grandbabies. She will have some opening words. Welcome, Bonnie, and thank you very much.
These words are from a poem by Estefania Mitra. You deserve a place that welcomes your becoming, that knows your fire is not too much and your silence not too little. a place that sees your shadows and still reaches for your light. You deserve a circle that brings you hope and coffee and poetry, a place to rest, a place to rise. Let this be that place, not perfect, but possible, not without cracks, but full of light. Come, let us worship.
Thank you, Reverend Bonnie. This is that place for me, and I'm really grateful to be here and share this with everybody. So now we're going to do the chalice lighting. Please light your own chalice or candles at home now while we light this communal chalice for all of us, a symbol of our tradition and the spirit that lives within every one of us. Please read with me our unison chalice lighting, which can be found in your order of service. Let love be the spirit of this congregation and service its goal. This is our living covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truths in life, and to help one another. We light our red candle to mourn Black lives taken by police violence, to proclaim that Black lives matter, and to express our commitment to Black liberation, reparations, and the end of slave capitalism. Please join the choir in singing number 1003, that's 1003, Where Do We Come From? And again, I believe the words will be on the screen here.
Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery, mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? Life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? Life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we going?
I want to thank the choir that's so wonderful. As someone that can't carry a tune to save my life, I'm really grateful to you. Now is the time for our meditation. In a moment, I will sound a chime to lead us into our time of silent meditation. Please get comfortable and follow your breath to your inner stillness. I will ring the chime a second time at the end of 2 minutes. Now is the time for our joys and sorrows. The ritual of joys and sorrows is a time for each of us to share what is in our hearts this week and ask for community prayers and support. Each week we lay out a book, which I have here, that you are welcome to write in about your joys and sorrows. I will read now from that book. A joy. First, we have a joy. Our weather is great. Also, Christine will be working her first art gig with kids since 2020 this coming week. We're sending healing vibes to all animals in captivity. Yes, and we're hoping for safety for our Somali friends in Minnesota. Now is the time, if you wish, to say the aloud of names of anyone that we would like to send support and loving energy to. Thank you. Now we're going to move to the silent part of our morning ritual. It's the healing ritual with water and stones. It's for anything that is in our hearts that we wish to bring into community, but is perhaps too sensitive to speak out loud. It's a symbolic action that you can take. You can walk down the center aisle, choose a stone or stones, and immerse it in the water, which represents our community. For all that we have shared and for all that we will share in our ongoing lives together, may we be grateful. Today's meditation song comes from the Buddhist tradition, and it's found in your order of service. Christine will be leading us in this song.
May I be safe.
May I be well. May I know joy. May you be well. May you know joy. May you be free. May they be safe. May they be well. May they know joy. May they be free. May all be safe. May all be well. May all know joy. May all be free. Thank you, everybody. Now, please join the choir in singing song number 298, Wake Now My Senses.
Wake now my senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being in all. Keep with the web of creation your vow. Giving, receiving as love shows us how. Wake now my reason, reach out to the new. Join with each pilgrim who quests for the true. Honor the beauty and wisdom of time. Suffer thy limit and praise the sublime. Wake now, compassion, give heed to the cry. Voices of suffering fill the white sky. Take as your neighbor, both stranger and friend, praying and striving their hardship to end.
Thank you, everybody. Now, Elizabeth is going to do a reading for us. Thank you very much, Elizabeth.
Hi, everybody. Hi. I'm going to read a poem. It's called One Wish by Lisa Friedman. If you had but one wish, what would it be? Take your time thinking about it. So much is at stake. An end to all suffering, to stop all violence, a solution to poverty and all of its ills. Would you wish for love, for forgiveness, or for healing? Would you wish the world joy, or the wisdom to change? Would you wish to understand everything, or to know less than you do? Take your time thinking about it. So much is at stake, for a wish is a thought, and a thought is an idea, and an idea leads to commitment, and a commitment cries out for action. A wish can be a dangerous thing, something daring, and it need not be witnessed by the stars to come true. Let us be glad that we are not given just one wish in our lives, but many. Let us be grateful not for wishful thinking, but for the discipline of the thoughtful wishing that can lead to change. What would your wish be?
In 1993, I was living in West Los Angeles, starting a postdoctoral fellowship in biological chemistry. I had just finished my doctoral degree at UCLA. My husband and I had a toddler and a brand new baby, and I was so stressed out by the pressure of my research and the responsibilities of motherhood that I distinctly remember perusing the obituaries on Sunday morning and thinking how lucky those folks must be to be dead. I can laugh about this now because at the time I wasn't suicidal. I just needed a break from what it felt like was a lifetime of endless toil, 24/7 responsibility, and of course, mountains of anxiety about everything that I was but probably could be doing much better. I was exhausted physically and drained emotionally and depleted spiritually. And in that mindset, my best option for relief was apparently death. My daughter has a child now and my son too, and my heart just bleeds for them. At the time, I would have told you that everything was fine. I was on a path that I had carefully mapped out. College, grad school, marriage, family, check. So yes, everything was going very, very well, exactly as I planned. Then we took a rare break to see a movie. My parents must have been in town, because that was the only way I could leave my two kids. It was Much Ado About Nothing. And you might remember this version. It had Emma Thompson and Kenneth Branagh in it. I'm seeing some nodding, yeah. It was set in a castle that looked like it was in the Italian countryside. In this gorgeous opening scene, a group of handsome horsemen galloped toward the castle through this lush countryside. Spotting them coming, the inhabitants of the castle go into this frenzy of preparation for the homecoming. The scenes of the women hurriedly bathing and dressing, the feast preparation, and the joyful excitement of the whole community affected me very strangely. I started weeping uncontrollably. I found myself longing to be transported to that beautiful place, surrounded by nature, where my whole job would be to celebrate life in community and take care of others. What a ridiculous fantasy. My life didn't change that day, but looking back, that was the beginning of a profound realization, an awakening that led me to Unitarian Universalism and ultimately a path in the ministry, which has brought me more happiness and satisfaction than I thought possible. The whole process, from the film to getting a calling, it unfolded over about 7 years. And in the end, I did feel that joyful homecoming that I saw in the film. In hindsight, it's almost as if I knew something, I knew somewhere deep down where I wanted to end up. But at some point, I stopped checking my internal map. And that moment in the theater was a clue that somewhere along the way, I'd taken a wrong turn. What is it about humans that makes it so hard for us to recognize the truth of situations? How many times have you been frustrated by a loved one who refuses to see a problem that is so obvious to you? We are experts at avoiding difficult truths. We don't like to admit that we might have been wrong or we made an error. Changing our minds can feel like an admission of weakness and vulnerability, which is very painful. The hard truth I was avoiding was that, while very interesting, my chosen career was not going to allow me to have the life I truly wanted. But how could I walk away and waste 15 years of hard study and sacrifice? I just couldn't do it. It would just be too painful. Until eventually the pain of going on was more than the pain of letting go. Like many of you, I'm experiencing a lot of pain around situations that wouldn't have even been on my radar back in grad school, including catastrophic climate change, racism, and eroding democracy. Thinking about my awakening experiences has challenged me to think differently about the future with respect to some of these difficult truths, so I'm going to unpack my experience a little more. Looking back, I was able to identify 3 stages in my awakening. And the first stage is, something is terribly wrong and I can't go on like this. Stage 1. During this stage, which began right after my second child was born, I experienced a sense of sadness and longing that I just couldn't pin down. I didn't share my feelings with anyone else early in that stage because everything in my life was going exactly as I planned. Then I found myself crying in the theater, longing for a completely different kind of life that I couldn't have ever imagined, but I recognized it when I saw it. And that was the beginning of that awakening, because after that, I could no longer fool myself into thinking that everything was fine. I didn't know exactly what I was going to do, but I knew at very least that I had to get out of Los Angeles. The timing was right for us to change jobs, so we moved back up here to the beautiful Bay Area, where my parents lived and where my husband and I both grew up. Stage 2. Now I'm completely lost. We bought a pretty little suburban home with a yard and roses growing outside the kitchen window. You could do that 30 years ago. My husband lined up a good job, also could do that 30 years ago. And I told myself, I'll go back to work in some field related to my research just as soon as I settle in. But I never did. Instead, I stayed home with our kids and took care of all the domestic things. And this was my choice. I was happy. It wasn't easy, but it was my choice. But even so, I still felt a little drift, as if there was some larger purpose I was missing. Closer, but not there yet. I sometimes found myself questioning my worth as a human being, because that's what housewives do, or house husbands, if they're just doing that all day and nothing else. And thinking about walking away from years of really hard work. My friends at the lab didn't understand my choice at all, and I couldn't explain it to them. I felt very alone, and in a desperate search to replace the community I had in science with my science career, I found Unitarian Universalism, fortunately. I loved my church, and I felt that I belonged there at last. But still, it wasn't quite right. It was close. I no longer admired people who were dead. But I still felt kind of unsettled and sad most of the time. So here's stage 3. The answer is so obvious. There's a story in Greek mythology about Psyche. She's a goddess who faces a set of impossible tasks if she wants to be united with her one love. In one task, Psyche has to sort through a huge pile of seeds, corn, barley, and poppy, and separate them into 3 piles, and she only has until morning to do this job. The task is clearly impossible, and overwhelmed, she falls asleep. During the night, an army of ants come to her aid, and in the morning she awakens to find 3 neat piles of sorted seeds. While she slept, the ants worked together on her problem and solved it. So during the years I lingered in that now I'm completely lost stage, my personal army of ants were working, sorting through the mess that was my life. My ego, my desire to serve, my particular skills, my love for people, and my devotion to the principles of our faith. I know this because in 1999, during the ordination of an intern, my awakening finally happened. As the intern spoke her vows, her commitment to the work of ministry, I heard or experienced a voice that said very clearly, this is what you're going to do. I was shocked. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in voices that speak from the beyond. I wondered if I was hallucinating. I didn't tell anyone. But a few months later, it happened again, and I was well and truly busted. So my particular awakening story has a very happy ending, but it was quite painful to live through. And there's a reason for that. Physical pain is designed to alert us to a problem in our bodies that could indicate a threat to our health and that requires attention. It's no different with emotional or spiritual pain. These kinds of pain are unwelcome, but often reliable messages from our subconscious that scream, there is a problem that's threatening you. I don't think it's unusual for awakenings to be painful. Think of the awakening that occurs when we realize we need to separate from a life partner, or we need to distance ourselves permanently from a family member, or we are diagnosed with a chronic or terminal illness. Clearly, some realizations are so painful that it can take us years to acknowledge them. I don't think that my in-laws ever acknowledged that they were getting old, ever, never. But if we summon the courage and we get the support we need, even the most difficult awakenings can offer gifts. A happier life, a more satisfying career, more authentic relationships, maybe a new family of choice, acceptance, peace of mind, hope. If you find yourself struggling with an uncomfortable personal truth, think about how you might give your army of ants time to work for you. This is tricky because our egos can really interfere. Our rational minds can be overly influenced by our families, the larger culture, and sometimes the faith of our childhood, even if we don't want it to. So I recommend a different approach. I can recommend you listen for what's calling you. Distract your rational mind. Some people do that by meditating. Some people do it by reading stories, listening to music, or watching movies. Art, it's art. Work in your garden for a few hours a week. Just let your mind wander or visit an art museum. It may help you to write in a journal, or I'm going to confess that I play with tarot cards. I did that a lot. Take long walks, travel to new places if you can, even if they're right here in Berkeley. Sometimes you see something and it just, I don't know, something strikes you about it. Come here with an open heart. You too may be shocked by what comes to you in time when the voice of your ego and the noise of your conscious mind settle down. So I want to go back to what's happening in our country right now. We are facing such catastrophic times and devastating truths: climate change, intractable political polarization, outrageous levels of income inequality, and white supremacy that is now more than merely systemic. It is being openly celebrated by our current administration. As Unitarian Universalists, with our explicitly stated commitment to justice and democracy, equity and environmental health, and know Almighty God to sort it out for us, we are experiencing a tidal wave of communal emotional and spiritual pain. Along with many other Americans, I am now well into that awakening. I started with, something is terribly wrong and we can't go on like this. I spent some time dallying in stage 2. Now I'm just completely lost. As I told you last time I was here, I just didn't think anything that I do could possibly matter. But I'm into stage 3 now. I'm doing more. I'm attending vigils, I'm giving away money, I'm supporting people who I know who are personally on the front of the resistance. And these things might not seem like enough, but the recent elections have convinced me that our collective ants as a country are working. I'm putting my money on those armies of ants that are sorting through the minds of Americans who care about this country, Americans of every persuasion and party. I'm seeing evidence that thousands and thousands of bright minds are working hard on the challenges we're facing. And I'm incredibly inspired by the young adults in my life who have no trouble grappling with the mess we're in. Both my adult children and their spouses are fearlessly tackling our problems with the same enthusiasm that I tackled my genetic disease research and then later my ministry. Between them, they are engaged in providing health care to underserved communities, raising awareness and money to battle housing inequality, and contributing environmentally oriented research. And I want to tell you a funny story. My daughter is an assistant professor at a large University of California, and she works in the biological sciences, and she wrote a grant, and as you know, grants are not being given out. And the grant was about how her work influenced climate change. And they went through this, and they didn't even submit it after, when. They went through it and just did a search and replace on this document. And they just took out all the words that were on the list. And they put in other more creative words. And they got a $1 million grant. So there are lots of good folks out there working really hard. So being in stage 3 for this administration means resisting on a personal level wherever and whenever we can. And for me, that means attending weekly vigils, demonstrations, and supporting people and organizations that I know are on the front lines. And here was the key. These were the words that came to me when I had the awakening. Instead of, we can't fight this everywhere, we can't fight this, my mantra is now, they can't fight all of us everywhere. They can't. So, amen, amen. Don't stop fighting, whatever small way you can. As we move forward together in these terrible times, I hope we can find ways to participate fully in a communal and a national awakening. I think it's happening. As I spoke about recently, I'm hoping to encourage you to avoid wallowing in despair, as tempting as it can be. I did it for a while. Concern and sadness are understandable. It's horrible. But despair belongs way back in stage 1. It keeps us from doing the positive things that we can do to resist the horror show. It flies in the face of those who are working for change, and I certainly don't want my kids to have to deal with my emotions on top of everything else that they're dealing with. Whether you are engaged in a personal awakening or looking for a way to better assist our national awakening, remember that you are not alone in the struggle. Let us support one another and all creative people, whether they are artists, activists, scientists, ordinary people, or maybe in my dreams, ethical and creative politicians. I want to thank you for the opportunity to be with you this morning, and I want to let you know that I will be traveling much of January and February, but I look forward to being with you again in March, if that works out for us. I want to leave you this morning with a very short poem by Elizabeth Barrett called Origami Emotion. Hope is folding paper cranes, even when your hands get cramped and your eyes tired. Working past blisters and paper cuts simply because something in you insists on opening its wings. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Bonnie. Yeah, hearing you talk about raising kids, I think it's humbling. You look around, you see so many people with kids, and you think, well, I thought, how hard could it be? And it's very hard, as it turns out. And I think that's true of a lot of life passages. And hopefully you have people to share them with you. And even if you don't, I think it brings us together because everyone faces life challenges like raising kids and losing a loved one. And it brings you closer to people to know that you're not alone and you're not as different as you may think you are because everybody shares those challenges. I think it's a good segue to our sharing of the plate. This helps us share responsibility for the home which we are creating together. Our shared plate partner for December is the BFUU Caring Committee. Preventing homelessness is a very effective way to keep our community thriving. When you contribute to the BFUU Caring Committee this month, your support will go directly to helping house a friend or friends in our community. So I appreciate it if you can contribute and help us achieve that goal. Alex is bringing around the collection plate. Let us dedicate our offerings to the work of this fellowship, which is creating beloved community within and beyond these walls. We dedicate ourselves, and these are offerings. Now, please join the choir in singing May It Be.
Today. May it be an evening star shine down upon you. May it be when darkness falls, your heart will be true.
thank you. That was wonderful. And I want to say thank you to Andy for all the great piano work today. Is there anybody here that is new to BFUU who might like to take a moment and just say hello and introduce themselves? It's optional. Some people do it and some people don't, but we love to hear from people if they're open to it. They'll bring by a microphone to you.
Here. We're just announcing ourselves. I'm David Curley,
And I'm Jamie Curley.
and we are visiting here. Our son and his family, and our daughter lives across the bay in San Francisco. And we're intending to move here, knock on wood, sometime in the spring.
We might see you again.
Yeah, welcome here and welcome to the community. Thank you and welcome to all who are with us today in silence or with words, in person or in spirit. We will have more time to connect with each other after the service today and also in the days to come. Specifically, in the days to come, next Sunday, December 14th, we have Reverend Kevin Mann, often affectionately referred to as Rev Kev. And he's great. I know many of you have seen him. I think I've just seen him once, but he was super. He'll be speaking on Blessed Are the Queer, Answering the Call of Love. In honor of the Trans Day of Remembrance, this service celebrates queer and trans resilience, LGBTQ ancestral wisdom, and the liberating power of love. Through story, song, and blessing, we reclaim the sacredness of queer and trans bodies and our intersecting identities of race, gender, and sexuality. All are welcome to show up as your full, authentic selves. Come as you are. with Rev Kev, as I said, and worship associate Robbie Edge, and music from Melinda Rodriguez.
Isn't Grant doing a great job for today? Thanks, Grant. So this, if anyone would like to join the AV team for occasionally helping us out, you are welcome. We have a variety of electronic things you could play with. I've been loved doing it for over a couple years now. So I noticed I never come back here. I'm always over there. So that's a reason for that. If you go there, you will find out why. Let's see. This Thursday, we have a history club meeting. And it's going to be from 7 to about 8:30. If you come at 6:15, thanks, Margaret. If you come at 6:15, we'll have a potluck. And it's this week we're going to hear about the early days of Barabbas. Believe you me, no one in the public has yet heard this story, and you're going to hear it if you show up. Did you know that we know where he was born, who his dad was? How did he end up marrying Martha? Look up Martha in the Talmud. You'll find all about his future wife, and that happened later on. You'll find all about that stuff on Thursday. Also, Matthew. Did you know Matthew had two names? Matthew the tax collector? Matthew and Levi. It's like, what's up with that? Why would a guy have two names? Well, we're going to find out about that also. And then along with that, we're going to hear about India. We're going to see a video made by Hank about India, the people of India. We're going to hear about the people, a story about Africa, which that's all I got was, it's going to be about the people of Africa. I was like, okay, that's what I'm going with. And we're going to hear about St. Francis. So we're going to hear a lot of variety of things happening this Thursday, and some of it has never been said in public before. So hopefully you can come. Thanks.
Thank you, Jeff. Jeff, are you going to share who our Zoomers are today?
Thank you. I'll do that right now. Our Zoomers today, Ben Birch, Jean Lieber, Marge Turngren, Simone.
All right, hello. Okay, now comes the time for the extinguishing of the chalice. Please read with us the words in your order of service. We extinguish the flame of this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, or the energy of service. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again. Thank you all very much for joining us today. After the service, you're welcome to stay and enjoy some community. We have a light lunch in the back, and I also want to thank also everybody in the audiovisual department over there. I'm really grateful for their help so people can share it even if they can't come today. Now it's time for the closing final circle. We'll rise and form a circle. And we'll be doing circle round for freedom.
Circle round for freedom, circle round for peace. All of us in prison, circle for release. Circle for the planet, circle for each soul. Children of our children, keep the circle whole.
May you be at peace. May your heart remain open. May you awaken to the light of your true nature. May you be healed, and may you be a source of healing for all beings. Amen. Go in peace.